Welcome to Chester's Corner. The Chester's Corner is a short game development podcast where I share some of my latest discoveries while being a full-time Steam and PC solo game developer. The podcast is available either as a podcast if you like to listen it, or text blog post if you prefer to read it yourself. Every second Chester's Corner is free for all, and every second is behind a paywall through my Patreon. But let's get into the topic. AI or I? To use it or not within my creative journey. Artificial intelligence is starting to be a big part of all creative industries, and it's becoming more and more accessible for even solo personnel to create art. Obviously, it's a rather tempting tool for people who've been struggling to create music, graphics, art, or even code, since you don't have to understand the process anymore. You just need to be good at prompting stuff and see stuff appear on the screen, which feels like you've created something yourself. I'm an hardcore anti-AI type of person myself. I find it very hard to feel good about showing stuff to people that have been prompted by me and created by the AI. This is most likely because of my background, since I draw, play instruments, I code myself as a solo game developer. I've recently found myself thinking that should I start using AI? Not because I like it, but because I see a lot of opportunities which could reduce the amount of work I need to do for my projects. But at the same time, I feel like I shouldn't do it. Why? For me, the creation process of any creative things is the main reason why I started doing it in the first place. It's not only about having stuff complete and ready, it's about finding that perfect brush to make the art look like something I want it to be, or that one instrument playing silently on the background which perfectly captures the mood I'm trying to achieve, or the quiet and calm mornings when I'm drawing this scenery for my project while listening to this soundtrack I've created myself. But then comes the business side of things. After testing myself how fast I can create good enough music or game graphics with the use of AI, I was shocked. Within a couple of hours, I had concept art, soundtrack, and even a game-ready assets in my hand. These assets lacked the soul I would want them to have. But at the same time, I understand that most of the people don't really care about that. Most of the people don't really value the creation process. It's about the end product. It's like turning on your radio. It's those 5 songs that you hear only with a little different lyrics and bass track. Heck, even the melodies are already repeating in the songs, but people don't really care. I'm not blaming anyone. It's just how our brains work. The so-called easy entertainment is something you don't really need to focus on that much. It just delivers that feeling you're after, be it motivational, energy-driven beat, or sad, melancholic setting. You can enforce that feeling by consuming the song, the game, or other medium that fits to your mood. Very few people would be experiencing that medium with the idea on their head like, oh, I love how this song is, in this song how this given instrument is used in a very creative way. Or maybe like, look at those hand-painted graphics, you can see the roughness in those to show that it's actually created by a human. No one says that. And that's not what most of the people are after. And when talking about most of the people, we are talking about business. Even though you would create stuff with the use of AI, you would only have a couple of people pointing out that this is missing the soul from it, and I would like you to make the art yourself rather than AI and stuff like that. Most of the people would be okay with that. You would save time, release content more frequently, and most likely generate income faster that way. Now, someone would argue that, but by using AI, people can see that it's missing its soul and wouldn't even like the product. No, they won't see that. Most of the people won't see that. If you're thinking this way, go ahead and try it yourself. Learn to prompt for a couple of hours, and try to create music, graphics or such. It doesn't take long until you realize how you can make those feel unique enough to stand out. With AI, you have pretty much access to all the music, graphics and such that has been ever created in this world. And there is a lot of content to create that stuff from. Which leads to the final thought of mine. If we let go of the artistic side of things and surrender to the use of AI, how long will it take once we lose the ability to create something new? Most likely, it'll take a lot of years for a casual user to start realizing that the creative field is repeating itself. But it will eventually happen. If we recycle the stuff we've done for centuries, that can be the only outcome we have. But like mentioned, it will take years. It will take so many years that people already forget the original reason, what made it happen, and why we already have something else to blame at. So yeah, should I use AI or not? I'm on the edge of things. One part of me wants to surrender to the idea and start using it in some parts of my process. But another part of me is saying that it'll destroy the core thought why I started in the first place. If I start teaching myself the idea that AI can do some part of my creations, it feels like I'm starting to slowly accept it and start using it more. But at the same time, by only knowing about this opportunity, it's already doing destruction to my interest in doing everything myself, since I know there are other options to achieve that. I kind of hope that the things would turn in the favor of creating stuff by your own hands. But I can't really see a reason why that would happen. And because of that, I need to accept the fact that the world is changing in the creative fields, and it's changing fast. If I want to be part of that field, I need to either find ways to bring more value through creating stuff myself, or just surrender and adapt. I would say that the latter one is the way most of the creative industry people will see the situation, but I will still try to find ways to keep myself out of it, as long as I'm able to. How do you see AI? Is it an ally or enemy for the creative industry? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, but also consider supporting me on my Patreon. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you, cheers, and bye-bye.